Hey guys, VA Prepper here, and today's video is about why I love cheap knives. Now when I say cheap, I mean $25 or less. Every knife you see on this table costs less than $25. Now, I know that there's going to be some knife guys who watch this video that think I'm crazy, and you collect knives, and that's cool. I mean, if you can afford $200 knives and carry them around with you all the time, that's cool. Thumbs up to you. I just want to make this video about why I prefer to have cheaper knives. Alright, I prefer $25 knife or below for 3 reasons. Number 1, they are easy to ditch. Any one of these knives, if I needed to ditch it, throw it in the trash can for any reason, I would do it without even thinking about it. My buddy the other day was flying to California. Him and his wife were running late. They got to the airport late. Everything was going late. They were running through the security line, and literally right before he got buzzed through security, he realized he had his $200 Benchmade knife in his pocket. And guess what he had to do with it? Throw it in the trash. He couldn't risk being late, and that's what he had to do. And that sucks. Believe me. If I had any one of these knives, I would throw it away. I would never even think about it. The fact that he was thinking about it days later means it was a big problem. Another story. About a week ago, this was after the Paris attacks, my wife and I went to go see a show at National Theater in DC. When we walk in, we realize, oh, they are running metal detectors on everyone. Which at the time I had this knife in my pocket because I'm going out and you should have a knife with you. Well, I walked up to the security guy and real nicely I said, hey, I got this little knife in my pocket. Is this going to be a problem? He said, yeah, get rid of it. So luckily there was about 15 or 20 minutes left before the show started. I was able to run back to my car, put this in the car, and got back to the show in time. Now, if it had been 5 minutes before the show started, 2 minutes before the show started, would I have had that luxury? Well, with this, I would have just thrown it in the trash and bought another one. It's a $22 knife. Had it been a $200 knife, yeah, I would have been late to the show. My wife would have been pissed. It would have been a problem. So my number 1 reason for cheap knives is they are easy to ditch. My second reason for having cheap knives is you can have more of them. Right here, all these knives total combined cost is about $130. I would rather have all these knives on this table than one $130 knife. You can have more. I have them in different bags. Every time I open a bag, every time I get in my car, they're all over my house. I open a drawer, I have knives. Pick up my pants, all the pants I have, there's knives already there. I don't really have to go searching around for a knife when I need one, when I'm about to leave the house, when I just need to cut something. So you can have a lot more knives. So my second reason, you can have more. My third reason for having cheap knives is that I just don't care if they're damaged. I've used these knives to pry things open, to pick things out of small places, things that you probably would cringe if you had a $200 knife. You probably wouldn't do. You would just pretend you didn't have a knife if somebody asked you to do something with it. No, I've done it with all these knives. And, if they got damaged, and this knife happened to break the tip off, okay, that sucks. I don't really want to break my $18 knife, but if I did, whoop-de-doo, not a big deal. Now I know, obviously, more expensive knives are going to have better steel, things like that. The knives are going to work better. I get it. Don't freak out. But if I chip the blade or something happened to it, it's not a big deal. They're cheap. I don't care if my knives are damaged. So, those are my 3 reasons for having cheap knives. If you're still with me and you care about what these knives are, I'm just going to quickly go through and tell you what they are, in case you want to buy them on Amazon, which is where I usually buy these knives. So here we go. Now these first 2 knives are the exact same knife, the Smith & Wesson Extreme Ops. These were one of the first knives I bought. I've had this knife for like 7 or 8 years. I've sharpened it like twice. I think when I bought this knife, it was like $10. You could buy these now for $18. They're light. And you know what? If I need to stick this into somebody, it's going to go through them, which is why we have knives. So $18, those 2 knives each. This is another Smith & Wesson. This knife's a little heavier, whatever. $14 for this knife. This one's probably the only knife on the table that you guys will even recognize. This is the, you know, the Ontario Rat 2 is a $22 knife. Here we go here with the Byrd Cara 2. This is an $18 knife. Ow, no, it's not that sharp, but. And then these two knives actually here, I don't necessarily carry with me. And guys, I have way more knives than this. These are just the ones that I like grabbed off the counter. You know, I probably have another 5 just somewhere random in the house, in different jeans, different drawers, different pockets, wherever. These knives here are actually like attached to bags. This one's kind of attached to my backpack just to have a couple more blades. This is a little Gerber knife. This knife is $11. I really like it. It's just a light knife. I've used it only, you know, a dozen times, but when you just need a knife, there it is. And then I'm sure you guys have seen this, like the Boy Scout Swiss Army knife. My brother gave this to me. This is like a $14 knife or something like that. Now, so those are the knives I have here on the table. Like I said, I like cheap knives because I can ditch them, I can have more of them, and if they get damaged, I do not care. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, hit that like button. If you want to hear more from me, hit the subscribe button. And alright guys, see you next time. Take care.